Greeks contributed much in according to its civilization to the modern world. The following are the Greek contribution of the Greek civilization to the modern world. So the first, sports. In sports, we owe the Greeks the Olympic Games, which are held after every 4 years. The games are today a global event which attract teams from various nations in different parts of the world. So the second is literature. Greeks pioneered drama as a form of entertainment. They performed plays which explored the struggles made by individuals for free themselves from the imperfections in their characters. The playwrights balanced their tragedies with the comedies that poked fun at the important and disliked. Some of the outstanding playwrights included Aristophanes, Homer, Sappho, Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Plato. The following contribution is in history. The ancient Greeks are credited with developing history as a distinct discipline of study. Prior to this, history was considered to be a part of literature. Herodotus constructed a narrative of the Persian wars using critical methods and interpretive framework. Later, Thucydides, who emerged about 460 to 400 BC, used scientific method in writing the history of Peloponnesian War. He used the analytic methods borrowed from science and philosophy in writing the history so as to produce an exact knowledge of the past as an aid to the interpretation of the future. The second contribution is philosophy. So philosophy is the study of nature and meaning of the universe and human life. The Greeks believed in rational explanation for the existence of the universe or wise people. They believed that truth was relative and depended on how one argued his or her case out, notwithstanding whether what was at stake was truthful or false. The philosophers tried to understand humanity's relationship to nature, the gods individual to another, and between the individual and the groups of human society. Some of the most renowned philosophers of ancient Greek are Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Zeno, Epicurus. The second contribution of Greek civilization to this modern world is in science and mathematics. Greeks made most pronounced legacy in science and mathematics. Various personalities made numerous contributions. A few examples include Aristarchus of Samos, living around 200 BC, discovered that the Earth and the other planets revolved around the Sun. The second is Eratosthenes, discovered that the Earth is spherical. So Eratosthenes is referred to as the father of geography. The third is Euclid, around 300 BC, in his school at Alexandria, borrowed from the ideas of other scientists from Mesopotamia and Greek and developed the basic principles of geometry. Later, other Greek mathematicians developed trigonometry. In schools today, students will study Euclid geometry. Euclid also noted that light travels in a straight line and described the law of reflection. And the second is Archimedes. Archimedes lived between 287 up to 112. He was a student of Euclid. He developed various laws of physics. His discoveries included the principles of determining specific gravity and the basic principle of the modern conveyor belt. He is also said to have known the use of the pulley system and the lever, and once used them to pull out a loaded ship out of the sea and brought it to the beach. Today, there is even a screw pump which bears his name. Archimedes also defined as Pyrrho. And the second is Hero. Living in Alexandria around 100 BC, made a long list of inventions, some of which includes a fire engine and steam engine. The second is Hippocrates. Hippocrates is known today as the father of medicine. He believed that sickness is a result of natural cause and not a product of God's wrath. He formulated the Hippocratic Oath, which outlines the responsibilities of the medical profession up to today. The second is Herophilus. He lived around 200 BC. He made several discoveries on how the body functions. The main ones that blood is pumped from the heart. So other is Thales of Miletus, and another is Pythagoras. Thales Miletus lived around 640 up to 610 BC. He traveled widely and learned a lot during his travels. Thales brought Phoenician navigational techniques into Miletus. He also revised the calendar, brought Babylonian mathematical knowledge to Greek, and used geometry to solve problems such as calculating the height of pyramids and the distance of ships from the shore. Thales studied astronomy in Babylon and came back home and predicted the eclipse of the sun. The last is Pythagoras, who lived about 569 up to 475 BC. He was a philosopher and mathematician. He studied astronomy and geometry before founding the Pythagorean cult. The cult was devoted to the study of numbers, which they saw as concrete. As a mathematician, Pythagoras also investigated the ratios of length corresponding to musical harmonies and developed methods of geometric proof. In geometry, he developed the Pythagoras theory or hypotenuse theorem that is still being used today. The second contribution is an architecture. So ancient Greeks exiled in Greek architecture works. Most of the formula they invented as early of 16th century BC have informed the world of architecture for the past 2 millennia. They built temples, theaters, and stadiums which are still the envy of the present world. We owe today our theaters and the stadium designed to this ancient civilization. Greek architecture still influences many people today. The US Supreme Court design, for example, is influenced by Parthenon, the Greek temple of the goddesses Athena. So the second contribution is the government and law. Government and law. Greeks are accredited for introducing and practicing a democratic system of checks and balances in the government, equality before the law, and active citizen participation in the civic functions of the state. So the second is in art and music. So Greeks' art, music, and dance have exercised an enormous influence on the culture of the present world. In art, they made sculptures and statues of stones, marble, limestone, and clay. Drinking vessels were made from lumps of gold, silver, or bronze, stamped with a geometric design. One of the great sculptors was Phidias, who lived during the 400 BC. Is credited. The following religion. The Greeks shared a common religion and belief system. They believed in many gods and goddesses. Their belief system was made up of heroes and myths. Greeks' gods and goddesses had a human appearance. They also bore human characteristics and attributes. The deities participated directly in human affairs according to Greek beliefs. In addition, the Greeks believed in oracles to tell the future and to give prophecies. Today, religion is common to humanity. It is based on a system of beliefs such as during the ancient Greek period, belief in oracles is still practiced in games and sports and many other fields of human endeavor. The belief in existence of gods or God, life after death, provision of sacrifice and offerings to God, command of divine powers over human life, and the observance of festivals and rituals in religious life were evident in the Greek civilization. We owe this partly to the Greek civilization. And the second contribution, belief in military power and of a country. So Sparta was renowned for her military power. She built an army which provided fodder to other Greek city-states and beyond. War was glorified, and every effort was made to train boys to serve in the military. Today, all world states have developed their military along almost similar lines. A might of a nation is partly seen through its military capability. During training today, like during the Spartan period, body and mind held a central place. The recruits and those in services have their bodies and minds hardened and sharpened for war. This is also what took place in Sparta. So, according to the decisions, so Greek civilization did much in order to reach in today's good life and modern period. The Greek civilization was highly needed in this world in order to develop ourselves and also to develop our community. So thank you for hearing me as Adolf will meet again. So I'm requesting you to click on subscription. Please subscribe, share, like, comment in order to recommend this video to others so that they can get knowledge they don't know. So history is the basic stone which builds the society. So thanks, may God protect you.